KFAN.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. Ben Lieber is here. Michael J. Mussman III is here. Hawk back tomorrow. No bonus because he's still in Florida for like the next, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it is. Marnie will be here tomorrow. Today is the first full squad practice down at spring training for the Minnesota Twins. Pitchers and catchers reported on Thursday. First game is Friday against the Gophers and then the Red Sox on Saturday.
This is going to be the year, right?
This is something.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be something.
I wonder what their over-under is.
Somebody's
I'll probably take the under.
65, I think it might be. Let me look.
Didn't Buxton just come out and say something that was kind of interesting about how he's annoyed?
Yes.
Do you guys have the soundbite or anything?
Shut down the trade rumors.
Yeah,
I have the headline. So essentially, obviously, Buxton said he wanted to be a Twin for life. And he said he was frustrated that the Twins didn't shoot down trade rumors when there were a lot of Buxton trade rumors about Buxton having to waive his no trade. I believe he has a no trade clause, but it would be like we would trade Buxton to so-and-so and he would waive his no trade. He says, I want to be a Twin for life. Why did they not say that's not even an option? So it sounds like he was a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Can't blame him.
73.5.
Over under?
73.5.
Well, shoot.
Oh, man. I don't know. We'll have to think about this if anybody wants any action on it.
Well, I would take the under.
Shocking.
Well, because here's what's going to happen. I thought about this morning when I was driving in here. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to get to August. They're not, or late July. They're not going to be competitive. And then all of our buddies that we've had on the air are going to be traded. Jeffers will be traded. Pablo Lopez will be traded. And Joe Ryan will be traded.
Yeah, but obviously the bettors, the Vegas line setters, factor that in. They know that there's a dump off after the trade deadline.
We call that the Dwight Hockey.
I feel like the last handful of years, though, the years that the Minnesota sports scene looks like it's going to be a disaster, that's when we surprise. We've had that a handful of times where it's like, this is going to be a disaster. And that's when we're the best.
Yeah, but
is when we don't expect much.
I hope, I don't know. I hope that that's not the case. Like, I will take the over on this if you actually want to put some money on it.
I'll take the under.
I'll take the over on that. Just what, $100?
Sure.
Okay. So, done deal. The thing is, like, I don't want to incentivize the poll ads and all the people to making decisions that, like, oh, yeah, we can just, like, slash and burn this team.
We can nickel and dime
Yeah,
this.
we can nickel and dime this. And all of a sudden, like, just because they play out of their minds, they're better than expectations. And they're like, yeah, see, this is the formula going forward. And like, no, nobody wants this. Nobody. No. So I'm going to take the over, but I'll be fine if we just send a message that they are just absolutely dog doo-doo and we have to like make some changes.
But will that message actually be heard?
Well, that's
so
the thing.
far it hasn't. I think until they actually sell that team, this is just going to be the same lather, rinse, repeat.
You're probably right, which is depressing.
The Rockies over-under is?
Doom.
Yeah, hang on, let me hit it.
It's the worst I can find.
You said ours was what, 76.5?
73.5.
73.5?
60.
I think last year when the White Sox were coming off a terrible year, I think Tommy and I bet 54.5 or something like that, or 55.5 for the White Sox. So my guess is the Rockies are in that ballpark, somewhere in the mid to high 50s.
57.5.
That's almost exactly what I was going to guess.
Sure. 59.
53.
Jeepers.
That's bad.
Oh, I got a Jeepers out of Halverson.
Jeepers, Katie.
53.5.
Watch your mouth, sir.
Question between, because they're playing the Gophers. Between the Twins payroll and the Gophers NIL, which number is higher?
Well, the Detroit Tigers pitching staff is higher payroll than the entire Twins team. They're $75 million below the average.
That's
the Twins
great, man.
Below the average?
Below the average, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Gleeman posted it. I think something happened.
Well, hang on. Let's hear them out. Let's hear the poll ads out here. Two sides to every story.
75.
Yikes.
Yep.
Well, I wish them the best of luck.
SaintsBaseball.com.
Correct. Because you can go see
Spend your
Walker
money
Jenkins in probably about a month and a half.
Until he makes the big league squad.
Yeah.
You're not factoring in Walker Jenkins.
He'll be great, though.
What a great name.
Yeah, it's a good baseball name.
That's what they have up their sleeve. Is like, you guys don't understand our farm system.
I mean, wasn't that the bit right after they traded everybody that Lavelle was on with PA and was like, well, now they have the second best farm system. And everybody's like, neat.
Cool.
That's
There's more tradable assets.
Yes.
Right.
We're going to get
cash.
so many cash considerations.
Yeah. I think Gleeman posted over the weekend that they traded a guy twice for cash considerations.
Yeah.
The same guy twice.
That'd be fun in radio.
Yeah.
To see what your cash value is to a different station.
Mine's $1.
That's a little aggressive.
I've been working here for free for a long time.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if iHeart traded you to, I don't know, iHeart Nashville
Yeah.
for cash considerations, and then you found out how much they paid for you, wouldn't that be kind of fun to know what you're worth to another radio
think it
station?
was
not
sad
really. I don't
night.
think so.
Yeah, crushing more than anything.
Yeah, this player that they traded twice, I'm not sure how he feels about that.
Yeah.
He's like, that's all I'm worth? That's it?
But
That's it. But he's blind.
he was worth that times 2 almost, probably. Unless his value really dipped in that day between.
Or you're combining the two.
Yeah.
That's the cash amount. I could just imagine his buddies bringing it up to him all the time.
I hope they wouldn't.
Didn't you go for like $2,000?
Yeah.
Like when Sauce was fired, I would hope that they were thinking, hey,
No, they
your
laughed.
buddies weren't. Oh, were they?
No, not my buddies, but Corey Hockey.
Well,
and-
yeah, those guys. But like
No,
your
they were
friends,
sad. They were sad for me.
Probably put a hand on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Said
think
it's
it-
going to be okay.
I was super sad. I think like 5 or 6 days after Sauce got fired, somebody was like, hey, did you hear he got let go? I'm like, that's too bad.
I didn't notice he was gone.
No.
The overnight guy.
5 or 6
Yeah,
days
that's what
later.
I was. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that must have been rough having to get fired face to face. They're like, oh, no. We just had a program director from a different radio station call him on the phone and say, you're not needed any longer.
Your position is no longer a thing.
How did he take it? Oh, he handled it pretty well.
I said, thank you, have a good day.
yes,
That's exactly
manners
what I
go a
said.
long way.
You
Thank
think
you. Have
he-
a good day.
You think he accidentally called the wrong Paul Lambert first?
No, that guy's position is, I think, in pretty good shape.
By the way, I still don't understand that. Why did they have him call you?
I don't.
The other PD. It's not. I mean, why didn't Abbott call you? It's weird that the other guy was the one who called you.
My version is I don't think Abbott wanted to do it, but I think
Is that what you
Abbott,
tell yourself,
but
or
that's
you've
what I
asked
tell
Chad?
myself. But then I think Abbott was laughing so hard that he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he's
I don't know. I don't know why I think because at that point that guy was technically my boss because I worked overnights.
Right. So you weren't a KFAN employee.
No.
You were a Clear Channel or / iHeart
Yes.
employee.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
it. That makes more sense because otherwise,
why.
can you imagine now if like, I don't know, some randos like, hey, Paul, you've been let go. You'd be like, this has got to be a bit. Otherwise,
come on.
Abbott would fire me.
Fine.
When you
just
hung up
show
the phone, did you just rage out, like throwing your walking sticks?
I was more in shock because I remember that day when I came in here and everyone knew it was happening. Not me, but like everybody. And I was on with these guys and I said, well, Hawk, what should I do now? Because it was just that eerie feeling that we have here, every like 4 months?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
And he goes, they're not going to fire you. Just go home. Like, why would they fire you? And then about an hour later, I got a phone call. They did fire me.
Yeah, a long time ago, a buddy of mine told me, he's like, why do you always worry about getting fired? You're going to be the last one to know anyways.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Everyone else will know.
Yeah.
Or you could just have it in football terms. Everybody knows when everybody's going to get fired. And you just walk in and be like, well, I guess I just hope they don't ask for my playbook.
That's got to be a weird feeling.
You know what is weird, though, going back to what you guys were kind of alluding to? A handful of times in my experience, so you walk in on just a random day, like a Wednesday, and you're like, where's so-and-so at? Like, you didn't hear? Like, no, you got cut. When? Monday afternoon? I didn't know that.
Right.
Lockers cleaned out. Nameplate's gone. You're like, oh, Paul's gone?
Oh, why does it have to be a Paul?
It's always a Paul.
It's always a Paul. It's always a Paul.
Hey, so we've talked about your career a lot. That you signed with the Vikings, signed with St. Louis, right? Met with the Seahawks. Correct?
Yeah. Biggest regret of my life.
But then you never got traded. You just signed with different teams. Correct.
Yeah.
How often did you hear your name attached to any trade rumors of any kind?
Never.
Not once. Man, that's. So you were never in fear, quote, of getting traded, but how often were you in fear of getting cut? For financial reasons or performance reasons or whatever. Like, did you ever have days where you're like, ooh, this could be my day or this could be my year where I have to have that meeting? Did you ever have one or not?
No, it really was only until my last year in St. Louis. I knew I was like, this within weeks of me signing, I was like, this is not a good fit. This is not a good situation. Like it could have happened to any day after, let's say, week 3 or 4. I'm like, it could happen any day.
And you would have embraced it?
Yeah, I just wanted to get to a certain point where I got the accredited season.
Sure.
And then once I got the season account, which is like after that 4th game, then I'm like, okay, I'm good. So I mean, nobody wants. I mean, even the day that I got cut, doesn't feel good to be like, yeah, you're gone.
And when it's the end, right? For you, that's the end.
And I knew it was my last year. So I'm like, all right, the second I walk away from this facility, I'm like never playing football again.
Yep.
So that was like a weird thing. It just sucks that it was in St. Louis.
Like, how about the end for Chris Paul?
Yeah.
What, 21 years?
But what a weird way to wrap it up, right? A future Hall of Famer, one of the best point guards of our generation. You could argue one of the best point guards of all time. And just like gets kicked off the Clippers, and then he gets traded a couple of times, and then he's like, I'm just retiring.
Yeah.
So his quote last year, just an absolute waste of time. Just got kicked around and thrown around. What a weird situation. Like, not everybody gets to pick how they go out, and that's a really good example of even the best, even Hall of Famers. Sometimes just come to the finish line with.
Yeah, but don't you think
trouble.
that he wasn't reading the room correctly? Like,
that's probably part of it.
He should have, after that long career being in the game for a long time, your skill level. He should have known if he really wanted to walk away under his terms, it should have been done, a year or two ago.
100% correct.
I mean, he was traded on trade deadline day to Toronto when they immediately were like, you don't have to show up.
Don't show up.
You don't have to show up.
We're going to trade you somewhere else.
Or we're just going to buy you out. And they did, and then, yeah.
I actually didn't even know he was still playing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's played in a year. He hasn't played in a while.
Remember the Clippers earlier this year basically said, please go home.
Yeah, they didn't want him there.
I don't know what kind of toxic thing they had going on there, but it was like, could you just get off the team? Get out of here.
I mean,
we're going to figure something out.
Probably
Hey, you guys.
$700 million.
I know that we're going to break, but I just noticed I never knew what's the little digital readout on the sweeper sticks for curling. The sticks have like this little
The walking sticks?
They have sweeping sticks.
Those are rectal thermometers.
Yeah.
There's like a little device on there that has like a digital readout. What is that for?
I have no idea.
To find out who is the best.
Where on the are you looking at?
I don't know. They just showed it.
But on the handle or on the broom itself?
On the just like halfway down the stick.
Really?
Not on the broom.
Maybe it's like
is it like the sweeping
some kind of Bluetooth so you can listen to the iHeartRadio app when you're in Milan?
It looks like it's got buttons she's pressing on.
Rosie.
I thought it was just a sweeper.
I don't know.
I thought it was just a broom. Now it's like a high-tech broom?
All right, ChatGPT, here we go.
Where is it here?
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah, any analytics that we can get.
I know. So they know the rate at which they're sweeping?
But what if it's just like ice temperature? Yeah, still 32.
Yeah, still 32.
Yep, it's exactly where we need it to be.
That device is basically called a sweeping performance sensor.
Okay. And it does what for performance?
I don't know. It's basically the curling version of a TrackMan in golf.
Yeah. It probably tracks the pressure on how you push, how many times you push. I'm sure it's for right?
That's
that's what I think it is too. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I guess
they use it as they didn't give all their effort.
Yeah, I don't don't you, after all the years and the 10,000 sweeps that you've done, don't you know how fast you're going and how hard you're pressing down?
So, Sauce, your best guess is that the broom is a Fitbit for how many times they have swept.
Yes.
Got it. Headlines next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
The Fan.
Quick look at the YouTube chat at KFAN.com/watch. Invencar says that's a device is a stopwatch they use to time how fast the rock is moving. Slightly Serious says Nick Madden's friends suck.
Oh.
And
well, we knew that.
Well, that's mean.
Brian says no amazing hot rods today.
Oh, yeah, play it.
Hot rods. Amazing hot rods.
So,
Thank you. Was that from Tommy?
yes.
He loves amazing hot rods. Okay.
Sure does. Sure does.
Now it's time for headlines.
All right, headlines. Final segment of the Power Trip Morning Show. Ben's got to go in like 10 minutes, so let's talk about
Oh
some
my
stuff,
gosh,
shall we?
it's already 8:30.
Yeah, it's 8:30.
What?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I assume this was at Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am, but maybe Muss and Sauce, you guys follow golf. You can tell me if this wasn't. Travis Kelce hit a woman in the head with a golf ball, and it wasn't the first time he's done this.
Yeah, it's the Pro-Am.
Did it again?
Yep. It's the second time that he's...
How bad was the shot?
I didn't see the actual shot, and I believe it wasn't one of those where she was like laid out, but, took one to the grape.
Can you explain the Pro-Am aspect of this?
It's mostly like the Friday thing,
Yeah.
really.
And it's at a different golf course. It's at one of them. Is it at? I actually don't really know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'll,
Yeah.
It's just
Great
a, it's
explanation,
just
guys.
a one-day thing.
No, I
and
got
that's-
You guys really crushed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
one.
picking up what he's putting down.
You sure? I'm not sure you'd want to pick that up.
Oh,
So there are golfers that golf with what, like game show hosts?
Yes.
Yes.
And they are always on the same page, and
Tony
it's
Romo.
cordial. We are now in week 3 of the Nancy Guthrie situation. Savannah Guthrie says her family still has hope, which, I mean,
Wasn't there a glove that was found that they feel was part of the evidence? And
but like Sauce and I were talking about before the show, there's, at least publicly, we have no idea what the investigators know behind the scenes, but publicly, I believe there's still no proof of life.
Mm-hmm.
There is still no proof that the TMZ contact is telling the truth, that person knows the identity of the kidnapper. That could be fake. Like Sauce and I were saying before, like what if the whole thing is, if the TMZ person keeps emailing TMZ saying, I know who the identity of the kidnapper is. If you give me a bunch of Bitcoin, I'll tell you who it is. Let's say that's false, right? Let's just say for whatever reason, that's just a fake person. That person doesn't know anything. Then technically, again, publicly, we don't know if behind the scenes, we don't even know if this is a kidnapping. I mean, she was taken, but what if it's just a murder and there's no ransom? It's just over. And this person's like, man, everybody else is saying that I have her and it's a ransom and I'm asking for this. We have no, I mean, who knows?
they're saying now they're working on the theory that it was a botched robbery.
Yep.
Botched robbery.
And, which would unfortunately make some sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Have they talked to Cato Kalin yet?
Speaking of Cato,
Yeah, you can see me in Common this Saturday, catoballroom.com for tickets.
That's a great place.
One show. It's a great spot.
Legendary.
hell of a
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah, well, you said
I know.
Cato. So
I know, I sure did.
Speaking of children,
One of the best transitions of all time last week. If you didn't hear it, go back and podcast. There is a Slovakian fugitive who's been on the run for 16 years, but they finally caught him.
is he missing an arm?
What did he do wrong? What's he been on the run for?
Don't know, but he's been on the run for 16 years. They finally caught him when he turned up in Milan to support his national ice hockey team at the Winter Olympics.
Oh, man.
that's awesome.
Olympic hockey is that good.
Yeah.
What if Parker turned him in?
He's got his jersey on, his favorite
What if
player's
Parker was
number
sitting
on.
next to him?
16 years.
16 years.
I
but,
think after that point, you just give him like an applause and be like, good for you, man.
Yeah.
You eluded us for 16 years. That's got to mean something, right?
Well done, Steve.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
But
as long as he's not like a serial killer.
Right. It must have been a serious enough crime where they're like, we still need to find this guy. If
he needed to be on the lam for 16 years.
I don't think he has 10 parking tickets.
No, I'm guessing that they weren't actively looking for him anymore. It just popped up on facial recognition and it just like pinged the service and like, hey, this guy's here? We've been looking for him for like 16 years.
You know, he's like, no, I'm getting tickets. What? It's been 16 years.
It's been 16 years. It's
never
fine.
gonna find me.
He gave up on me. Got a whole different
hockey.
name.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Speaking of crime, I've mentioned at some point in my life I have a weird fascination with the idea of arson. I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Oh yeah, please don't.
I'm not looking to kill anybody. I just want to burn something. Not a controlled burn.
Backdraft as a
you
kid?
are-
You
Never seen Backdraft.
You are a
You
man.
should.
Yes, exactly. So I got a little pyro to
You're
me. I
manly.
just would like to see something go ablaze at my hand.
Blaze.
Well, but this is maybe a deterrent outside of the idea of jail in general. But a former police chief in Maryland was found responsible for setting more than a dozen fires, arson fires. He was sentenced to 55 years in prison.
Gee, you don't want that.
Yeah,
Wow, Betsy.
I don't know if people were hurt outside of their property, obviously destroyed, but 55 years in prison.
This isn't one of those where he started the fire and was the first on the scene. This guy's really good.
Oh yeah.
Like the Dexter of arson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean this
Arsonists.
with all due respect, and I'd say the same thing about myself. Prison would not be a good spot for you.
I completely disagree for all of the reasons we've always talked about. I don't like to go outside. I like to be left alone. In prison, you can play poker, can watch Netflix.
Hey, you got to
take long
dodge a
naps.
few things, though.
So what? Who cares? You only live once.
You're sitting in your basement all by yourself at 62 degrees and you never get to see the warden. It's just like jail.
Well played.
Again, like I've said, Sauce, the only thing that prison doesn't have that my life does is raising canes. You get a canes at a prison, and I'm going to start burning some houses down.
Maybe not personal property. Like just go burn. I don't know.
Like an
Some trees
abandoned,
down.
even like an abandoned barn.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
There's
do
tons
that.
of them
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
We'll make sure all the barn cats are out. I don't want to kill cats either. I just want to be like the Joker to that giant pile of money, even though there's a person on the top of that pile, so that's a bad example. But I just want to stand 15 feet and like flick a cigarette and watch something go up.
They should like offer that service.
Well, like
You know?
but I think a bunch of firefighters have.
Yeah.
Smitty Oom's a part-time firefighter. He has offered to have Corey out on one of their controlled burns, and he says no.
No, I'm saying like a
whole bu-
structure.
A whole bunch of really nice people have said, "Hey, I do controlled burns. You can come out and do it with me." I'm not interested in that.
Hawk had a
He
controlled
wants
burn.
like an old barn that has to come down.
No, but I want to do it illegally. I just don't want to get caught, and I don't want to get anybody hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
I
think
want to
that you
decide.
could-
I want to burn that.
I think
building.
you could scratch your itch. You know how they do like these controlled implosions where they have these giant grain silos in these buildings, or whatever, and they come in and they implode these buildings, right? Like you would get a kick out of that.
Sure.
Now, if there was like a building,
He needs fire, though.
I know I'm saying like if there
burn
was
it
a
down.
building, a structure that's like, listen, this is gonna be torn down anyway. We're gonna build something else here. Why don't you just come in? We'll let you come in at night. You can get all cat burglary and have your ski mask on, and you can just like do your thing. We'll come back in the morning and we hope it's burned down.
Yeah, it's an old barn, and and you can talk
Love
to
it.
firefighters.
Like the barns
to
in
hide.
Critters.
They just hide away,
Yeah,
so
great
you
film.
never see them, and
Yeah.
then you get to,
Yeah, have at it. Any way
Torch
you want
the
to do
thing
it.
and then run.
Kerosene,
Get after it.
gasoline,
It's called role
WD-40.
play.
I don't
Cor.
know.
Yeah, he's into it.
So speaking of that, 14 hours ago, this is not a tweet by Sauce. Darren Ravel tweeted something.
Wait, is Twitter open again? Is it working?
I don't know. It is for me.
Oh,
VJ Edgecombe is a basketball player,
for Philly. Yeah.
and
it's an unfortunate name.
VJ.
Jay?
And Darren Ravel retweeted a video of VJ Edgecombe giving his shoes away to some fans and getting to meet the fans and things like that. Well, apparently that experience was a gift arranged by something called Daps Bounty or at Daps Bounty. I don't know what the actual company's called. Let's just go with Daps. And the whole point of it, you just said an experience burning down a house or burning down whatever.
Sure.
And Darren just said developing business opportunity loading. Basically, the question that they're posing is, why are teams so late to the party on this? Like, not everybody can meet Justin Jefferson, right? You can't charge $5 to shake his hand. But why not put a giant price tag on one-of-a-kind experiences at every single game where Somebody's getting his jersey. Somebody's getting this. Team gets a bunch of money. Player gets a bunch of money. It's super elitist, and it gives. Not everybody is going to be.
It's not
available to everybody because it's going to be an insane amount of money.
I just call Charlie Swanson.
But there is a lot of money in that, and as soon as I saw that tweet, I'm like, that's a really good point. Why hasn't a team said, we have a la carte list of options? You come to a Timberwolves game, here's 15 things that are crazy expensive. But if you want Ant to give you a shoe and a photo and this and that, here's, you give us $25,000 and let's call it a day. I'm surprised that hasn't happened.
So like
earlier.
a real elevated meet and greet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With
merch.
memorabilia merch. Exactly. In-game, game-worn merch. Not, hey, I'm going to bid on a Jordan jersey from 30 years ago. But truly, you go to the game, you meet the player, you get it right there on the spot, you call it a day.
Yeah.
But you empty the bank account to do it.
I don't see why. I mean, it's not going to be for every player, but I suppose you could just like Cameo, just set your price.
Exactly. And if a player is a super big deal and has hundreds of millions of dollars, and like that doesn't interest me, well, then you throw out a number that's insane. Say for $1 million, I'll do all of that. Somebody's going to pay for it. Right? Somebody will. On
that website, one of the options is a $70,000, the bounty for a Wemby game-worn jersey.
And it's handed
I would guess, I can't click on it because I'm not putting in all my information.
Right. But that's the idea.
I would guess,
Wemby proves it by taking his jersey right off and handing it to you. And you get,
how much would you pay for let's say like a Paul Pierce game worn underwear from?
Has it been filled?
Yeah.
Specifically that game where he sprained his ankle and had to be carted off, carried off.
And of course, you're referring to the rumor that he just crapped his pants and was too embarrassed to admit that he crapped his pants, so he had to fake an injury.
Correct.
And ride a wheelchair back because then you don't have to see the bottom of his pants. Just a theory. Ben and I are not confirming that. That's just a theory that's floating around.
Well, that makes sense now.
It makes a ton of sense.
This is kind of related. My uncle back in
Bye, guys.
Back in the late 70s was at a Pittsburgh Steelers game, and he was drinking a Coca-Cola. And do you guys remember Mean Joe Green?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's leaving, and, he was down. And apparently my uncle traded his Coca-Cola bottle for Mean Joe Green's jersey.
Wow.
So
Rosie's not here, right?
That's your love of Coke, then.
That's your friend's love of Coke.
Wow. Quit throwing my friends under the bus, man.
A man was arrested last week for allegedly tossing a live alligator through the drive-through window of a Wendy's in Florida.
Sir, this
is a Wendy's.
Genius. Nothing better than Vine.
Love it.
Vine's
just happened to have a live alligator. Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you screwed up my order?
You throw what is happening?
Okay, hang on. Speaking of quick videos and speaking of Wendy's, I saw this video. There's a guy going on a ski lift, but he's going the other way, so he must be riding the ski lift down. You know what I'm going to reference?
I think so.
And the skiers that are going up the lift, he just kind of randomly yells to him. He goes, "Hey, do you know Whataburger is the only fast food restaurant that starts with a W?" And the people that are going the other way goes, "Wendy's." He goes, "Wendy's nut's going to be on your forehead." So a drive-by ski lift
I've seen that,
joke.
Yeah.
You have like a 6-second window to say it, have them respond, and land the joke.
Yeah.
That's high-level comedy.
Yeah.
Right? Timing's everything.
Yeah, I've seen.
You got to ask
before,
it at the right. I don't know, within a second or two. Otherwise, they're not going to hear you.
There was another one where it was another D's nuts joke that they shot in the same fashion, but the lift stopped.
Oh boy!
So they had to just sit there and rock.
Even better.
Awkwardly sitting there.
All right, now let's get back to the story for a second. Let's say you're working at Wendy's and you're in Florida. It's chaos, right? You live in Jurassic Park. We've talked about it. It's Lord of the Flies meets Jurassic Park. But you're at a Wendy's in Florida and you're having a lovely day. Let's say there was no argument. You just open the window because the next customer's, turn is there. And the second you open the window, he chucks in a live alligator.
Yeah.
How do you process what
I
the
don't
heck?
know.
Yeah. If there was an argument and it was like, I'm going to throw this gator in. Like if you have a second to think about it, that's very different than just, $12.91, sir. And then Fire in the hole. Here comes an alligator.
My God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's insanity.
How do you have time to process? It's Florida. Again, you have to know that there's gators, but not in the window of a Wendy's.
No.
Meanwhile, that guy who actually had the gator is just sitting there at the window and he's just shoulder rolling, giggling.
Yeah, can't wait.
Oh, wait for this.
I'm
Waiting
picturing
for
a
his
relatively small gator. Otherwise, I don't know how you throw one through the window. It's probably a baby gator, but
But
still.
even so, I'm panicking.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I'm screaming. I'm making that like sound. Like I can't hear
Don't do that again.
Yeah, don't do that.
All
Why are
right.
you making that sound?
That's your go-to sound, huh?
Another dumb question. There's gator on a stick at the Minnesota State Fair. Are there any fast food joints in Florida, not necessarily Wendy's, that have gator on the menu?
That's a good question.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wonder if there are.
Well, because like up here, weren't there some Arby's that did like a venison sandwich?
That sounds familiar. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
So why wouldn't they?
Right, regional
Yeah,
products.
regional products.
I doubt Wendy's in Florida has gator fingers
Wow.
or
No.
gator strips.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you, but I Googled it and everything. It's just nothing but this story.
Yeah. I bet they do. Yeah. I would bet that's a thing.
Apparently, people are eating iguanas down there.
What?
Yeah, I saw that on pizzas.
Yeah.
Because they get, when it's so cold, they'll just fall out of trees. Which one time I was in Florida and I was so excited. I'm like, I got to see an iguana just drop out of a tree. Got to see it at the golf course on television, but I never got to see it. Oh. But yeah, they are putting them on pizza.
Yeah.
Would you eat
probably not.
an iguana pizza?
No.
Sauce?
I mean, I might try it.
I don't even have it with mushrooms on it.
Have you ever had the gator at the state fair?
No, but
Would
I would
you?
try. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've tried it.
And
It's a little greasy.
Yeah. You're greasy.
would you eat it again?
No. I sampled
What
it.
if it was
fine.
gator nuggets at Wendy's in Florida?
No. I'd prefer just to throw a gator through a window.
Wow.
That sounds like something you would do.
That's not very nice.
This one time.
At Wendy's.
Do you know the only fast food joint in Florida that starts with a W is Whataburger?
What about Wendy's?
The New York Post says that New York singles, specifically females, are looking for love at medieval times. Their story says, quote, it's like Hooters, but for women.
I've been to a medieval time.
Is it like Hooters, but for women?
I mean, it's
Bunch of
pretty
knights.
cool. Yeah, it's pretty
How do you
sweet.
spell medieval?
Calm down.
Yeah, it's like the Benton cable guy. That's why me, Dob, and our buddy Will Buckland went.
Yeah, he's making up Will,
No, I'm
by
not.
the way. Will's
No.
not a real person.
No, he is a real person.
No, he's never been
No.
mentioned. Our buddy Todd Cronenbush just said no gator in fast food joints down in Florida. Because Todd lives down there.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Todd.
listening, Todd. You're the best, dude.
Todd's sweet.
Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge. Their concession stands. You can get it at a concession stand there.
Isn't that where Raising Cane started? Was on the LSU campus?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
You're
we learned
correct.
that when we interviewed him.
Look at Todd Cronenbush from Florida. And then you're talking about Todd Graves. A couple of Todds that we're fans of.
The only two Todds I like.
Those are the
Todd,
only
Todd,
two.
Todd,
Graves
Todd.
and Cronenbush. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't name another Todd that you like.
Nope.
What about Todd Bridges?
Is that the guy from Different Strokes?
Sure.
It is, yes.
Isn't he dead?
I don't know. I lose track
No, I
of who's
think
still
so.
with us.
The little guy's dead.
You lose track of who's with us.
I don't keep track. I let Wikipedia do that. What about Todd Bauman? What about Todd Stussy?
I like Todd Stussy. Todd Bauman is a nice guy. Todd Bridges is still with us.
That's
Thank the
good
Lord.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew. It'll get a little
What
dicey.
about Todd Chrisley?
He knows best.
Isn't that
Is he,
guy?
is he in prison or did he
I
get
know, he
pardoned?
got
Got
out.
pardoned. He's
Get
out.
pardoned? Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, why wouldn't? Yeah, he's
He's famous.
Hey,
Let
man.
him out, I guess.
If you're going to be a reality TV star in jail,
He did get pardoned. You are correct.
helps.
Yep.
But back to medieval times, because Sauce has been there.
Yeah.
Apparently, chicks are into knights. And Mus, are you watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I am not. No.
Okay.
No,
You were a
I'm
Thrones guy or you're not a Thrones
I
guy?
love Game of Thrones.
But you're
Loved
not
it.
on this one?
No. The follow-ups I have not.
Ooh, okay.
Is it as good? I mean, seriously?
Repeat take from almost 2 hours ago.
Which is fine. New listeners.
There's only 6 episodes in this season of
Yeah.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The finale is next Sunday. So
Is
last
there a
night
lot
was
of nudity and is there incest?
That's why Tommy is so far not
That's
interested.
why most people love Game of Thrones.
They're only like 30, 40 minutes each, so it's a quicker watch.
Mm-hmm.
First 3 episodes, I thought, this is beautifully shot. This is well acted. This is fine. He's trying to enter like a jousting / night tournament. Through 3 episodes, I'm like, there's no tournament to be found. Like, nothing's happened. This is boring, right?
But it's the
please, something happen. Please.
3-episode rule, right? Where you got to watch at least 3 episodes.
Well, that was the first 3. I'm like, and I'm like, man, after 3, I'm like, man, nothing's happening though. And then stuff happened in 4. I'm like, whoa. And then last night was unfreaking believable. We broke this down 2 hours ago, but temporarily it had a perfect score on IMDb.
Really?
And there was a tweet that said last night's Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode and however you say that word from Breaking Bad that we Googled earlier were like the only 2 perfect episodes in the history of IMDb for TV. Now it's dropped to a 9.8. But yeah, I can see why. It was epic. It was awesome. So the slow
the first
start,
3 and then 4, 5, 6 are going to be just on fire.
4 was a ramp. 5 was a home run. I don't know what 6 is going to be, but man. So I was worried that it was a waste of my time, but now I'm glad I stuck with it. That was epic's the only other word to use. It was unbelievably worth the wait.
It's actually 3 episodes are perfect 10. The pilot of Happy's Place. Do you watch Happy's Place?
No. I love Reba, but no.
You met Reba?
Oh, yeah.
And that's the one with Minnesota's own Melissa Peterman, right?
Yep.
We still got to
Go
get her
Bears.
on this show.
Go Bears.
We really do.
Yeah, she's on game shows all the time. She
She's
hosted
great.
a game show. She's on a bunch of sitcoms. She's been in a great Coen Brothers movie.
I can't
Let's
believe
go.
she hasn't been on this show.
I know.
Because she's been on our show back in the day.
Oh, must be nice.
She would be on, like, every time she came into town. She's awesome. She's funny.
Is she in town?
I would bet she's in L.A.
Probably.
Yeah.
But she has family here still.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Is she really?
Wait, is she the lady in Fargo that says Go
Yes,
Bears?
yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And she improvised that line.
I thought you meant like she's like, I thought you said Go Bears because she's like from White Bear.
No, she. It's actually one of the few times where the Coen Brothers let somebody kind of, because normally you have to read exactly what they say.
Because The Big Lebowski is mostly all scripted.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable with all the
That
words
is
in
really
that
crazy,
movie.
yeah.
Last week, police in Florida, seems to be a Florida theme today, confronted a 30-year-old man because they thought he resembled somebody with an active arrest warrant. They asked him his name. He said his name was George Costanza.
Come on.
Beautiful.
It is.
check his wallet.
His name was not George Costanza. They later ID'd him as Josiah Darlene, though they did that through facial recognition. So then he was arrested on an outstanding trespassing warrant along with an added charge for resisting an officer. So he just didn't want to admit who he was because he probably knew he had a warrant. Not the warrant that they were looking for. They thought they were looking for somebody else. So he said his name was George Costanza. And this story points out that when Seinfeld ended, this kid would have been 2 years old.
Well, it would have been ridiculous to say, Cosmo Kramer, that's my name.
Yeah.
George Costanza.
Again, this is Florida. He was on meth. He was drunk. He thought it was a good idea. I gotta give him a fake name.
Yeah.
Let's give him
trying
Costanza.
to be funny. Kill him with kindness. Yeah, maybe you can get him to laugh. Maybe they'll be like, hey, that's kind of funny. We should hang out.
You can go.
Yeah, you can go. Right this way.
Mus, how old are you?
I am 53.
53.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks. I made it this far.
Mus, I think you can do this then. Happy birthday today to one of the best sports nicknames of all time. Happy birthday to the Bus, Jerome Bettis.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Bus.
The Bus is great.
How old is he?
Oh, I'm going to say that he's got to be 43.
Can I guess?
You're how old?
53.
And you think he's 43?
I think he's 10 years younger than I am.
Interesting choice. He's not younger than me. He's 54.
He's 54?
Well,
the
he
Bus
was
is 54?
The Bus is still with us, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's 54.
Corey doesn't pay attention to the deaf.
The deaf? That's why I took American Sign Language for 2 years in college. I know
But-
the ASL.
But
yeah,
he's
correct.
blind.
No,
Oh, the deaf. The deaf?
you said you don't care about keeping up
dead.
with people living.
Oh, got it.
No, 43?
Yeah, that's a terrible guess.
What?
He's in your
I'm
wheelhouse.
43.
Okay, is he
I
dead?
know, but that's like a
The bus
Is it
retired in 1964.
the bus did not.
He played at Notre Dame in the 80s.
He didn't wear a helmet.
Yeah. 43?
That's one of the all-time worst guesses. By the way,
Oh no, you're not going there.
your performance on Password was not terrible.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got.
It was not terrible.
No.
Swedberg was using words I have no idea.
I still don't know what any of those words mean.
I think dromedary
He
was
said-
camel is that was the perfect clue for camel.
Who knows that?
I mean I knew it.
Dromedary?
Yes.
What is that?
And he used mandible. Barb was right. You should know that's a jaw.
The first thing that
Mandible
popped,
is a jaw?
yeah, first thing that popped into my head was not kidding. I was like, Baby Yoda? No, wait, he said
Mandalorian. So, but I don't remember who said this on Friday, but they're right. If you had said before the game to Swedberg, you and Muss are going to crack 60 points, he'd say, I'll take it.
yeah.
Right? I'll take the loss, but I'll take it. That means at least we had some fun.
Oh, and
You guys got like 60 points. You
the
did fine.
spirit thing, and with my hand motion, he had already answered it correctly.
I just heard that. I didn't see
Which
it.
that's too bad because you did have a wonderful clue. But I also saw the hand motion. I would have probably called and write it on you too.
But he had already said the word. He
I
said
know,
spirit.
but
I
you
said
can't.
school. He said
Muss, either way,
spirit.
baby steps, and that was a baby step. I thought you're moving in the right direction.
Yes.
that was not
You're
bad.
learning.
You're getting there.
It was
still
a
gonna get-
brilliant clue.
Picked dead last, though, for sure.
You got to be invited first.
That's a good point, yeah.
I mean, it's a camel.
What was the word again?
Dromedary.
How?
No.
You and Swedberg are the only people that know that.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you lead
I've
with
never
humps?
heard that. Yeah. Lovely lady.
Can you
bumps.
imagine if he had said humps, what you would have guessed?
Okay, that's a good point.
Mandibles?
Couch cushions.
Heck's a mandible.
Who knows what any of that
I know.
is?
That was the thing. I'm like,
I'm on your team,
And
Muss.
I looked
No,
at
that was
Swedberg and
Swedberg's fault.
I literally said, "You've known me since 1993. You know how dumb I am.
Gotta
Why
know
are you
your, gotta know
using
your
these
audience.
words?"
Yeah, terrible clues. Can't say that word to Muss. Muss, you're the best. We'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
All right, 9 to noon is next. The Power Trip returns 5:30 to 9 tomorrow. See you then.
To listen back to today's Power Trip Morning Show or to hear previous shows, podcast us on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.